computer. Okay, we're good.
Good. Okay, welcome everybody. So I'm really excited about this meeting because hopefully I'll, give you guys some tips and pointers and help you guys out because I think advertising is a big part of the business. But I just wanted to start off and just say that, Karen and I are here to support every one of you, and honestly nothing makes us more excited and more happy than to see you guys succeed in your business. But remember that we are also here to help set you guys up for success and help you guys grow into leaders so that you guys can lead your own teams. So in order for us to do that, we have to make sure that you guys are being resourceful. So, sometimes, if you guys ask us questions, we might not be quick to answer because we want to allow time for you guys to research the answers on your own or look for it in the training. Like, even though we know it sometimes at the top of our head, like we have to not say it because we want you guys to learn for yourselves, right? So that's just kind of like our thing of just helping you guys grow into leaders. Yeah. And yeah, another baby. And we say this all the time. Okay, yeah, there's a baby. And we say this all the time. If you guys ever need a one-on-one support, like we are always here. We can always book a Zoom meeting. You guys can always book it in our schedule. Yes, we are busy, but we can always make time for each and every one of you. And I just want to say that, like, I know sometimes if you guys message me, my response might be very like quick or abrupt. I don't type a lot of stuff, and it's always because I'm multitasking. I'm always like typing with one hand, so it might be very like quick and short. But honestly, I mean well. Like, I really want to help you guys out. So in this business, nothing is really urgent, right? If somebody wants in this business, they will wait, right? When I wanted to get into this business, I had to wait 2 weeks to book a coaching call with Mike, right? He's a busy guy, right? But I wasn't gonna be, okay, 2 weeks, no, I'm not gonna do it, right? I was willing to wait because I saw the potential in this business. So, nothing is like super, super urgent in this business. And I know it's really exciting when you guys get buyers and you wanna get them in the group and stuff, but we are really lucky in the sense that, Karen and I, we don't have, your typical 9-to-5 job. So we are quite flexible, right? So in between my kids, Karen in between her kids and her lab work, we can probably check our phone probably every hour or a few hours at least, right? So we're actually really quick to respond to most of you. So that's it for the beginning. So on to advertising. So I think it's really important to understand, Facebook and their platform. So for Facebook, you know what? Their platform is to create a good user experience, right? They don't want a bunch of spam for other people. So just keep that in mind. And Karen mentioned this too, if you're creating a new profile just to manage this business, and then you create a business manager right after, it's not going to look so good in Facebook's eyes, right? Why are you opening a page just to open a business manager, right? If you're opening a page, normally, you're going to add your friends and get some post up. So yeah, just remember that, like, there's so many, inappropriate posts or violent posts and things like that. So Facebook does have all of these filters in place and robots to prevent that and to protect us. And so when we're seeing our ads getting disapproved for like MLM or, it's too vague or work from home. And, in the beginning, I was like, oh no, like, how am I going to do this business, right? But remember, guys, this is not us. You have to get that in your head. We are not MLM. And Karen, can you turn your volume down, please? Karen, she is below me. She makes more money than me, right? So MLM is kind of like the pyramid structure, the person at the top making money. So that's not how this business runs at all. We are not MLM. So don't think that you are, because when you're trying to fight Facebook, you need to be strong in your thoughts that this is not MLM. When they're saying that we're being vague, remember what our offer is. We are not offering a job. We're not saying go work from home. We are offering simply a free webinar. That is it. How many ads do you guys see out there? They're offering free webinars, free ebooks, free downloads, right? Similar to what we're offering a free webinar. So keep that in your mind. Don't say, oh no, we're doing work from home, we're not gonna get our ad approved. That is not us. So remember that. Yeah, and try to just, even in your ad, like, all we want is just people to check out the free webinar. We're not saying, hey, go be your own boss, right? So just try to base your ads more so around that webinar, so that when you do get, Alana, can you help her, please? So that when you do get disapproved, that you can fight, saying that, it doesn't say these things. Whenever you are doing your ads, okay, you can get that. Okay, Elijah and okay, gonna share with them. Gonna drop your lead. Sorry, guys. So anytime you are creating your ads, just Lana, did I? Okay, Lana will get you some. Okay, yeah, go with Lana. So whenever you are creating your ads, just make sure that you are doing it in good energy, right? Just don't do it for the sake of getting an ad out because you had set a goal out to do your ad, and do it in good energy. Be excited for it. Think about how amazing it's going to be when the leads start rolling in. Like, be in that energy when you are creating your ads. For your photos, if you guys are using a photo, make sure your photo stands out. Make sure it pops. If you look on Darren's page, a lot of his pictures are very vibrant. So he uses an app to kind of turn up the saturation to make the colors really pop. So think about that, like adding some filters to really add some vibrancy to your post and catch people's attention. If you are doing videos, I say don't make it too long, no longer than, I would say, around a minute. A lot of people don't have long attention spans. And if you are doing like a simple ad with like a long text with your story, make sure those first couple lines are really attention grabbing. Remember, Facebook only shows a few lines of text and then you have to click continue reading. So that is an extra step for people. So for people to even want to click that continue reading button, your first two lines gotta really make them want to even click that. And for targeting, so we say to choose, like I do narrow targets, right? So some people have success with no targets, but here me and Karen are sharing what we personally do. So I usually like to choose more narrow targets. So when you are entering your targets in a box, you can click on a button that says narrow targets and it'll open up another box. And I usually use 3 boxes. So I like to say, I want the qualities of these people to be in box A, B, and C, right? All 3, not just like I want everyone to be either a parent or an entrepreneur. Like I want them to be a parent and into entrepreneurship, right? So narrow your targets, and it doesn't hurt to research a few wealthy cities wherever you are targeting, right? Wherever you target, there's always like a nice area in that location. So I research a bit and say, like wealthiest cities in BC or something, right? And target that versus targeting all of like British Columbia. Like I like to be a bit more specific. I won't choose provinces. I'll choose cities within provinces, or same with like states, right? Cities within states. And when we say like test your algorithm, what I like to say is you're just trying to get a good string of people. So you can put your ad out there and it might not work, but if you try it again, you might catch a better string of people. So let's say you duplicate it and you make no changes. That ad might run better because Facebook catches like this better string of people. All these people have the same characteristics, but one group of them might be more into this or like more likely to want to convert. So that's why we cannot pinpoint exactly what works, and that's why we say test. So Karen is going to get into more about what the testing process kind of looks like. So I am just gonna pass it on to Karen.
Alrighty. Thanks, Maria. So I'm going to touch a base on a few things, and I'm going to screen share with you guys, and we're going to walk through creating an ad together, and then we're going to look at different targets, or, you know, these are just tips like from me and Maria that we have tried and tested that worked for us. You know, there are a lot of other people that came on the regular Wednesday mastermind have shared their story or their tips on what worked for them. So that's why we're saying at the end of the day, we're just giving you resources that you can try and test out, but it's still up to you to test to see what will work for you, because, you know, it may work for us, but it may not work for you. Just like on the mastermind, people share and we're testing what they're sharing to see if it works. So these are just like ideas and tips that you guys can take and, you know, try it out. There is really, what I've found is there is no right or wrong way. We just have to test and find out what's going to work for us. So lately, I've seen a lot of people are asking for ad seasoning within our flock chat group, or maybe in the Dream Team's ad seasoning flock. I know I've touched base on this before, but I know we've got many new people since then. So I just want to do this one more time. So when you, like for me, Maria, we never do ad seasoning, okay? And these are the two reasons why we don't do them. So then when you do ad seasoning, what you're doing is when people, you know, within our community seasons your ad, which means Facebook say, oh, so this person clicked on the ad, they comment, they liked the ad. So Facebook's gonna try to find people that are similar to the person that liked or your ad or seasoned your ad to try to show your ad to those people. So guess what? You've just asked a Dream Team member to season your ad, which means Facebook's probably gonna show your ad to more Dream Team members. And it's not going to do your business any good if they're already a Dream Team members, because they're already a part of the community. So that's why you don't want really our community to season your ad, because it will kind of mess up your algorithm, because that's what Facebook's going to do, because the bots are trained to gather these data and try to, you know, apply them. So that's why. And secondly, for me, if I go on someone's ad and I see a whole bunch of really positive feedback, oh, I love this business, it's done so much for me, blah, 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 it's been a blessing. Even though for us being within the community, we know these are genuine comments and these are real, but you have to put yourself in the, you know, your audience shoes. To them, that is pretty spammy, right? Like, you know, this ad goes up and you see a whole bunch of praising. It's like, what kind of flag is going to go up in your head? Like, okay, these comment cannot be real, cannot be true. So again, it's kind of doing your ad a disservice when you're seasoning, asking for seasoning like that. And please, please, please do not ask our team to season your ad with like comment for more info or yes or more detail, please. That is like sorry to say, but that's the scammiest thing you can do, because it's so easy for them to click on that profile and they're going to look at it. Oh, so-and-so are friends and they're doing this business too. So what are they going to think? It's like, oh yeah, of course. Like it's fake. It's not even real. So then you just lost all credibility with this prospect or this lead that may be interested, but they're doing their diligent checking out the other comments to see who's checking it out. Who are these people that are actually clicking on this ad that's asking for more info, right? So you just did yourself, again, another disservice by asking others to season your ad that way. So ad seasoning through Dream Team or through our community is, for me, is a big no-no, because that's what I found. It's not going to help you, because at the end of the day, guys, it's a business. So we need to put in that time and that effort, right? So don't throw your ad in our group. And, you know, we have a very loving community, a team as well, and we will help you and season your ad because you've asked. I've done it for people because they asked, but generally, I don't think it's a great idea. So like I said, it's a business, so we need to put effort and time. So if you really want your ad to be seasoned, to have social proof, we have talked about this before, run it in the Philippines or in Asia, or in, I would suggest the Philippines or in like South America, because then they have more English sort of name, because if you run it in Asia, then they got a whole bunch of like Chinese name or Asian name. So that and then we're targeting mostly like North American country or Europe or Australia. So you want the name to be more genuine and not like, you know, kind of like East Indian names or something like that. So run it in the Philippines or in South America for like $10 a day. Do it for like 3 days or 5 or a week, right? So that's like 50 or 30 to $70. Trust me, you will get a ton of social proof. You will be so busy answering all the comments that you probably think, what did I get myself into? So if you want social proof, just spend that, you know, $50 and you will get tons of social proof. Trust me, I just did it the last night and I was bombarded with so many comments that I have to ask my lovely assistant, my daughter, to reply to these comments for me. Yeah, so I can show you guys like how it's amazing, because this is the one I run in the Philippines for social proof. And you can see in one day, this is on about, well, I spent $26 that one day. And I've got 59 leads. Can you see? 59 leads. And look at my cost per lead. Well, that's social proof for you. And then you can see I've got 68 comments and 83, I'm not sure if you can see. So 83 like comments, likes, engagement, and the clicks. Those are tons of social proof. But then of course we know that running it in Philippines or those less, you know, not wealthy country in South America are not quality leads, but they give you the social proof. It will look good on your ad. You've got so many views, so many comments, so many engagement. Then that's a social proof. Why do we season in ads? Because we want that social proof. So if you do want it, that's what you do. Another thing on the ad seasoning is also going back to the page likes. Page likes, only ask our team to help your mentee, or if you have a new business page, for page likes when you need that 50 organic likes. Because again, after you have 50 organic likes, there is no really value to your business page to have a, well, you know, your number will look good. You will look like, oh, your page got 5,000 likes. But if they're all within the DT community, again, it's not good for your business, because every time you do a post on your page, you know, Facebook will randomly show it organically to people. But then obviously these people are the people that liked your page, that engage with you, that are your friends or people like that. So if all the people that liked your page are in DT, your posts are just going to be shown to DT. So if you put a lot of time and effort to create these posts, but it's being shown to people that are member of DT, so it's not reaching other, you know, prospects out there that may become leads and join the business. So that's why you don't need a ton of likes from DT. Like again, if you want that social proof for your page, run a likes campaign in Asia or India. You will get so much likes in like a few days with spending $20 to $30, right? And you don't need to bug our team, please season our page, right? Because you know, you put one of those posts in, you might get 5 to 10 at most, but yeah. And then, I mean, we're all here to help. And I go, the page seasoning or the page likes is to help the newbies when they have no, because in order to be able to run ads, you need at least 50 organic likes on your page. So as a newbie, where are they going to get the likes? It's from the community. So that's what we do. But as a seasoned business owner, I don't recommend you guys asking for more likes on your page. Like one, it doesn't do you any good. Secondly, you are taking time away from other business owners to do this you a favor when it's not going to really help your business. So it all comes back to, you know, why are we doing what we're doing, right? So I just want you guys to understand why you do this or why you don't. Because some people think, oh, I want lots of likes on my page. But what is it? Why do you want that many likes? What is it going to do? So you got to understand that. And the thing with seasoning. So that's for ad seasoning and page. So, okay, I already talked about that. Okay, so when we're starting to test out an ad, I typically start at about $10 to $15 a day to test an ad, because you do need to give Facebook a bit of a budget in order for them to test and run your ad and collect enough data to optimize your ads, right? So, I mean, if you're spending, obviously the more money you spend, the more reach you'll get. So that means the more data Facebook can gather, and then that way it can optimize your ad faster. But again, when we're testing, we don't want to be throwing out like, a big budget, because we don't want to waste our money on ad that's not working. Because whether you're spending, $20 or $10, if an ad's work, you should see that result within a week's time, right? So, and then also the reason I say, well, I don't know if it's still applicable, but I know back then, about I guess a year now, I always tell people, test your ad for about $60. So if you're doing $10 a day, which means you need to test it for about 6 days. Okay. So, and then if you're doing $15, then maybe 4 days, I think. And then if you're doing about $20 a day, then it's over 3 days. But then I don't really favor the $20 unless you have a bigger ad spend budget that you can, sit through like 3 to 6 days of testing, which means more money. Because the reason I want it about $10, because I want that to be spread out over a window of about a week's time. Because we got to understand, like any business, not every day is going to be a good day. If you open a restaurant, not every day you're going to have a full house, right? There's going to be a day where you're slow. There's nobody coming to eat that day. Who knows? Life happens. So the same thing with Facebook. You know what? When you're testing, maybe you started your ad on a bad day. No one's clicking. It doesn't mean the ad is not working, right? Maybe the next day someone will click, or maybe the next day is still a bad day. But if you already like kind of come into conclusion after 1 day or 2 day your ad is working before it has a chance to kind of really take off, you're wasting your money, because now you shut it down, which means you're going to test a new one, and then you're going to start from ground zero again. And if you already turn it off after 1 or 2 days before it takes off, again, you have just wasted money on testing. So that's why I want you guys to test like between 3 to 5 days at least, because the first few days you might get 0, but who knows, on the 3rd day you might get 2 or 3. So if you're getting 2 over 3 days, that equals to $15 a lead. But let's say after 2 days of testing, 0 leads, that means you spent $20, 0 leads. But on the 3rd day, if you get 2, it means you got 2 leads at a cost of $15 per lead. And let's say on the 4th day, if you get 2 more leads on the 4th day, then it comes down to $10 a lead over a window of 4 days. But let's say if you turn it off after 2 days, you'll never see those 4 leads coming in. So that's why testing requires, the money, but also that window of time as well. So some stuff we cannot rush, right? Because Facebook needs to gather the data to optimize and make your ad work. So I said, that's why when people bump it up to $20 a day, I go, that means $60 in 3 days. But in 3 days, it may be too short of a window to gather enough data to see if this ad is working or not. So, but then again, this business is dynamic, which means that every situation is different. So which means you need to make adjustment as you go along. So after 3 or 4 days, if there's no leads, please turn off your ad. Don't leave it for 6 days, because Karen said to test it for 6 days for $60, right? Because if an ad is working, I believe after 2 to 3 days, you should at least get 1 or 2 leads. So if after 3 to 4 days, if you're still getting 0 leads, that means the ad is not working. So even leaving it on for another 1 or 2 days, you may get 1 or 2 leads, but your cost will still be quite high, right? So like I said, it's dynamic. So we just have to go with it. Like I'm just saying, like test for 6 days if you're actually getting leads in the first 2 to 3 days. Okay. So that's testing. And for me and Maria, we always test 1-1-1. So a 1-1-1 means that there's 1 campaign, 1 ad set, and 1 ad. I know in the trading, there are other strategies where they do a 1-1-4, which means 1 campaign, 1 ad set, and 4 ads. So the 4 ads may be the exact same ad, but what they're testing for is the algorithm, right? So it's the exact same ad set, which means same target, same location, and then the ads may be the exact same ads, or in the ad level, they can change it up and change a picture or change a headline. So they're testing to see if this headline will attract more people or if this picture will do better. So that's when you're doing, I think they call it split testing, to see which ad will do better. And then also if you're having the exact same ad, which means they're testing to see if this algorithm will pick up better. So if you guys want more info on this strategy, you can look in the training. There's one by Chris and Karen McCallum, and there's a phishing strategy by Amy. So if you want to try that out, you can. but actually not really, because going back, only do that method if you are seasoned, if you are an old ad account, which means, I believe, let's just say to be a safe side, at least 1 year. That ad account has been active for at least 1 year, then try that strategy. Please do not try that strategy if you are a newer ad account, because in Facebook's eyes, you're new if you're doing the 1-1-4 strategy, even though you're just trying to test one thing, but you're actually, in Facebook's eyes, you're putting out 4 ads, because at the ad level, there are 4 different ads. So Facebook doesn't know that we're testing. They just see that, whoa, this ad account was just created a month ago and now they're pumping out 4 ads. So that will raise some flags and may get you guys shut down. So again, stick to the 1-1 strategy. That will hopefully keep you off the radar. So then when we're testing, there are a few things that we test for. So there's the algorithm, there's the ad itself, and then there's the targets. So whenever you want to test, let's say you've got an ad going, it's not doing well, and now you want to test something else. Maybe you want to test the algorithm or the targets or the ad itself. So what you do is, typically we always duplicate it. If you're just, duplicate it and then change whatever it is that you want to change, wait for that ad to be approved, and then go back and turn off the old original ad. Reasons why we do this is because it always looks better when your ad account have 1 or 2 active ads running and you're trying to put out a new one. Because Facebook's like, oh, this account looks like good standing. It's got a couple of ads running, which means they're doing okay. So then they're more likely to approve your new ad, right? So don't turn it off first and then try to create a new one when you're testing. So always have that overlap. When your new one's approved, then turn off your old one. Or even if you don't want to duplicate, you want to create something brand new, that's fine. So create the brand new ad, wait for it to be approved, and go back and turn off the old one. So that's a few tips and strategy. Blah, 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 testing process. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and then we're gonna go through the ads manager, and then we're gonna do, I'll talk more about when it comes to testing and what you do, and also I'm gonna touch base on the narrow targeting that Maria talked about, because some of you might not be familiar with that. Okay, share screen. Just give me 1 sec, guys. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect, thank you. So I'm in my Ads Manager account. I think I'm gonna go to this one. Okay. So I think we're all familiar with this. This is Ads Manager. This is a new ad account. I don't have anything running. I'm just gonna use this to test. So let's say let's do an engagement ad. So post engagement, and then I usually don't do any of this. I just do it the old school way. So then here is the target. So let's say we're gonna do Vancouver. So I know in the previous mastermind, one lady has mentioned, I'm gonna take out, oops, what happened? Do it again. So I know in the past mastermind, I think it was Pamela, she mentioned that she always put a big city. So Vancouver is a pretty big city for Canada, maybe not be for the Americans, but anyhow, so then she goes, beside that, she'll add like a few smaller city in there that's like within that same states or province. So that way that the ad can reach like these smaller pockets of people. So Chilliwack is where I'm from, which is about an hour outside of Vancouver. It's a smaller city. And let's just say, I don't know, let's put a city in on the island. Nanaimo. Where did I spell that wrong? Let's see if our reach goes up. Oh, it goes up 100,000. So Nanaimo is pretty small. Let's just say that. So right now, my reach, potential reach is about 2.1 million. And we typically, you'd want this arrow to be in the middle. It's kind of like closer to this side is better, which means your audience is more defined and is not as broad. So then that's our location. So then we've edit for me, like again, the age is pretty straightforward. They typically say, you know, 10 plus and 10 minus. So I typically stick around, I usually stick 55 or below for me, because I feel I can resonate better, because I don't think I can resonate someone that's sort of in their senior, even though I'm getting there, I'm still in denial. But for the lower age, I typically start at least above 25. So I play around. Someday I'll start 27, depend where my cursor end up. And then of course, gender, whoever you are comfortable with. I typically just target women because, again, it's someone that can resonate with me, even though I do have some men within our team. I don't know how they found my ad, really. So now we go into the detailed targeting. So this is where Maria talked about the different boxes. Okay, before we get to there, let's do this. So typically, I would always exclude people that are in the dream team, because we don't want dream team to see our ad, because obviously they're already a member. And then Gaz, if you guys have heard, they've mentioned, so Gaz is just a sort of a spin-off of Dream Team, so they're into Enagic, so we don't want them to see it. And then the other thing I put is Enagic, so if they're interested in Enagic, they possibly already have the machine, so they're not a good candidate. And then the other thing is Alkaline. I spelled that wrong. Come on. Why am I having a brain freeze?
ALK.
Okay, sorry. Thanks, Maria. It usually would come up. Okay, I'll try this one then. Oh, wait, forgot an N in Kangen water. There we go. That's what I want. Alkaline. Oh, I put alkali, so it's alkaline water. So again, obviously they possibly already have the machine, so they would not be a good candidate, because if you already have a machine, most likely you are a distributor. So if they are already a distributor, they cannot join our team, because Enagic does not allow you to switch your upline. So just to, you know, we don't want our ad money to be spent on these people. So then now we'll go in here, we'll put in audience. So I typically put parents. So these are just some of the targets that I use personally. So you guys, you know, use whatever that is in your comfort. So then another one that I typically put is small business. And then I would pick the interest, because business-minded people will see, you know, are more likely to take risk and get into start a business. And then another one that I used recently is passive income. So then how the Facebook targeting works is that when you put these criteria in there, which just means you're telling Facebook, hey, Facebook, show my ad to people that live in these locations that are between the age of 27 and 55, that are women, and that are interested in one of the following, right? So they may be a parent, but they may not be interested in business. Facebook will still show it to them, because if anything falls into this box, they only need to meet one of the criteria in this box. So then that's, if you want to narrow or just make your audience more specific, this is when we choose this narrow audience, and this is what Maria talked about. So then let's put in here Maria, help me out. What can I put?
Law of attraction.
Okay, that's Maria, law of attraction. Okay. Oh, where did it go?
You're not very good at typing today.
Hey, doing live. Not today. Anyway, so if I put this law of attraction in this second box, so you notice how it says and must match. So that means you're telling Facebook, okay, show all these people that fit all of these criteria, and then that matches any one of these, but they must also match this. So they can be interested in small business, but they also must like or is interested in law of attraction in order for Facebook to show the ad to them. So this is what the narrowing target means. So imagine it being a funnel. So the first part of your funnel is all the people that live in those locations. Then the next one, all these people have to be in this age group, right? Then the funnel gets smaller. Then all of them have to be women. Then the next funnel is that either they are parents, likes business, passive income. So that's the next part of your funnel. And then the narrowing it down means the next one, you know, they have to also like the law of attraction in order for them to go through your funnel. So that's what the narrowing down is. And then you can narrow it further. So let's just say I put in one more thing. Let's just say, I always use this example, but Tory Burch. So Tory Burch is a designer, a name brand. So I put it in there. So which means they have to meet all of one of these criteria, this one plus this one. And, oh, I forgot to show you guys how, sorry, we'll do this again. So notice how when I put in all these criteria, that 1.8 million or 2.1, it drops down to 320 because of all these criteria that I have put in. Then Facebook said in their database, only 320,000 people meet your criteria here. So, you know, my audience is getting small. So this is quite small. Because before, I always say for every $10, you know, aim for about 500 to a million potential reach. But I know in the previous mastermind, Pamela said that she always aimed for 2.7 to 3.2 million. But then I forgot what was her budget that she kind of set for that. Was it $10 or $20? Did anyone catch that, her budget?
It was $10.
$10? Okay, so for her, for every $10, the reach was 2.7 to 3.2. For her, that was the sweet spot. She found that works, and she had her reasoning behind that, and that's fine. But for me, before when I started, I always keep that, you know, for $10 between 500 to a million, because I felt like, you know, no matter how big your audience is, if that $10 can only go so far in a day, right? So you're not going to exhaust your audience very soon. But like I said, that's our strategy, but Pamela's got a different one. So you guys just have to test. So test the smaller audience size, see if that works. If not, then try the larger audience size. So, so then doing this will really narrow down your audience. So if you want a bigger audience, then you probably don't want to narrow your audience, because when you saw how I put in law of attraction, it totally drops down to 14,000 only, from 320 to 14,000. We don't want that, right? So that's too narrow, and then we're not going to get any, you know, a lot of results. So we don't want that. Like I said, you can keep narrowing down if you want your audience to get smaller, but if you're already starting with, you know, specific location, then you may not have a very large group of audience already. So maybe to increase this, I need to add more city to this. So you just have to play around until you get your optimal audience size, right? So you know what, I'm happy with these targets. These are the people that I do want to target, but it's only given me, before it was 320,000. So I'm going to add another city to bring that up. So Toronto's another big city in Canada. So that have brought up my reach to 970. So for $10, maybe I'm happy with that. You can keep playing around with this and this to get your audience to go up. So to increase your audience, you can also add in more interest, because that means it just have to meet one of the following interests. It doesn't need to meet all three. So which means it will broaden up your reach a little bit, because they may be overlapping, right? So the same people that are interested in this are interested in that. So that's why the reach didn't go up much. So you can add more targets to increase the reach, or you can increase the location. But when the target is quite small, I mean, the potential reach is quite small, increasing your target will not jump by very much. So that means you would have to go back and most likely broaden this up. Like, let's say we change it to all, you can see, yeah, it almost doubles. So 1.7. So only half the women met these criteria here. But if you do both men and women, it's 1.7. So you may need to play around, but if you're strictly want women, then that's fine. Then maybe play around with the age gap or add more audience or add more location. So that's how you play and get this number. So this number is fairly important. I know some people may not realize that, and sometimes they put in, I know for me, I did when I started, I just put in everything. Canada, USA, like the whole country. So I have like 200 million reach. I'm like, yay, the more the better, right? Like more people, that mean my ad is gonna get shown more, better. But no, like I said, the budget is what's gonna affect how many people is gonna see your ad. So if you have 200 million people, but if you're spending $10 a day, the most, let's just say hypothetically, the reach that Facebook can do in a day for your $10 is 1,000 people. So no matter if your audience is 1 million or 200 million, each day you can only reach 1,000. So if your audience is too broad, like this number is too large, it's gonna take Facebook longer to optimize, because when you're putting in specific location and target, you're helping Facebook. Because instead of Facebook, I mean, just say if I put in Canada, the whole country, then Facebook's got to, show some people in Vancouver, some people in Calgary, some people in Toronto, some people in Halifax. So they got to show pockets of people to see which location will resonate with my ad. And then it would take them more time to find the location. Once they find a location, then maybe you have too many targets in here, then they're going to show, okay, let's show all these parents, see what they think. Okay, no, parents don't resonate. Let's show, law of attraction, see if they resonate. Okay, they resonate. So now Facebook's got to do more like optimization, more testing to find the right audience that's going to resonate with your ad. So it will take your ad longer to optimize, so longer to get the results that you want. But when you do it, these targeting, you're helping Facebook already narrow down to this specific pool of people that, show your ad only to these people, Facebook. These are the people that I want to work with. So Facebook don't really have to do a lot of testing to find the optimal people that will resonate with you, right? But then it happens that if your targetings or whatever is not working, like with your specific targets here, and you're not attracting leads, then maybe it's the target is not resonating with that ad specifically. So change up the targets or change up the ad. So that's about targeting for the ads. I won't go through the rest of the stuff because that's pretty straightforward. So it's just gonna take up time. So the rest of it, just follow the training or reach out to your mentor if you're not sure, because the next part is pretty black and white, same thing pretty much every time. It's just a target I want to touch on. So this will lead me into testing. So when we test, I mentioned there are 3 things that
sorry, Karen, can I just mention something about this? So when you guys are choosing locations, don't try to choose so many locations in one ad. So if you're doing like what I was doing is I was choosing US cities and Canadian cities, and I don't know, for some reason, they are showing the ads to US more. So all of my Canadian targets didn't even get shown. So I had to create a separate ad with only Canadian cities to show that, because like Karen's mentioning, like on the algorithm, if more Americans are clicking on it, they're just gonna keep showing it, even though I have listed Canadian cities in there. So if you want it to show a specific location, it's better for you to create separate ads with those locations only. Otherwise, it's going to be like, okay, more people in American, just going to show Americans, and then your Canadian audience just dies out.
Good point, Maria. Yeah, so yeah, with the location, what Maria said, exactly, because what Facebook did, it just optimized and found that, even though Maria put in Canada and US, but they're finding more US is clicking, so they're going to spend, because Facebook want to optimize the ad spend, so they want, more reach for your money. So because Americans are resonating more, so they're going to keep showing it more to those audience. So which means all those Canadian city that you target are not even get a chance to see your ad. So when you do an ad, like, you can have thing, but try to keep your location, like just say if you're doing a Canada ad, just do only Canada or only Canada West Coast or Canada East Coast. And even for the states, because states population is a larger, so maybe just focus on one state or two at most, but like in similar, like geographically, if you're going to target like California, then maybe do Washington, or I don't know, Oregon. Like I'm not too familiar with American states, but like the West Coast, right? Don't put one like California and then one on the East Coast like New York, because you know they're all American, but they're on different coasts, different time, and also could be slightly different interests, right? Because obviously on the West Coast here is like, you know, California beach and all that stuff, but New York is a different vibe, a different lifestyle. So that's why try to keep your, even though you choose location, keep your target within the same parameters kind of thing, so that it helps Facebook optimize better. Okay, so I'm going to go on to testing. So testing is algorithm, your ad, or the target.
Oh, Karen, sorry. Is somebody waiting to get in the chat? Maybe Kathy. You have to approve her into the meeting.
Hold on. Because when I share my screen, I can't see that screen where you add people, so I just have to find it. Okay, no, that's not it. Honestly, I don't know how to add them, because I just see my full screen. I don't see the chat button where I can add people. Let me just look. If anyone knows, please help me out. If you've used Zoom before and familiar with it. Because I know when we were all together in the screen, I have this bar on the side where I can see who's wanting to come on, and I can add. Okay, I'm just gonna stop share my screen so I can add her, then I will, okay. Then I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay, she's in. Okay, can I go back? So that's why, guys, you need to show up on time. Can you guys see my screen again?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just gonna move this out of the way. Come on. Okay, so algorithm, ad itself, and the targets. So, you know, they're different variables, right? So like, you know, we've all done chemistry. We know that when we test, we have to isolate the variables. So let's say you test an ad 3 to 4 days, it's not working, there's no lead, or maybe one lead, very slow. So you wanna test, you need to test. So what do? So you can do one of 3 things. So if you're really happy with the ad itself, like the picture is nice, you love it, the text is good, you believe it's like, you know, engaging, it's captivating, and your target is good, those are the people you want to work with, then maybe it's just the algorithm that's the issue. So what you'll do is there's 2 ways you can do to reset the algorithm. One, you can turn it off for about a day. I would say at least a day. I know some people have turned it off for a few hours or whatnot and turn it back on. So, you know, you can do that and see if it works. So you can turn off that ad and then turn it back on. Hopefully when you do that, it just messes up the algorithm and Facebook will have to start over, and hopefully it will pick up a different algorithm, which means it will show a different string of people. And maybe these people will resonate better and will click on your ad. Because even though in the pool of people that you choose, not everyone may resonate with your ad, right? So you're just trying to find that pocket of people that will resonate. So that is testing the algorithm. One way. I know that I read before, Facebook said in order for the algorithm to be completely messed up, it has to be turned off for 7 days. So 7 days is a little bit long. So just try it for a few hours, or the next day, turn it back on. If it doesn't work, then do this other method, which for sure will reset the algorithm. What you're gonna do is just duplicate your ad at the campaign level. So just hit, go to a campaign level. So I'm gonna do that, so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. Wait, let's go to my actual ad account. Because this account has no active ads, so I can't show you that. Okay, go to Ads Manager. So here you can see I have a few ads running, so that all you have to do is go to the ad that you want to duplicate. So this is my engagement ad, which is my likes campaign, which I just turned off. So then what you So this is off, but just imagine if it was on. Well, let's just use this one. So what you have to do is, go to the ad itself, hover over the ad. It will have that duplicate button. So you'll click duplicate, and then just one time, and then I won't hit it because I don't want to duplicate it. So all you have to do is, actually I'll do it because I have to publish it in order for it to run. So then this is, you can see it says copy, which means that is your duplicated ad. So then you can go in here. If you're just gonna duplicate the algorithm, like test the algorithm, all you have to do is, okay, I gotta move this screen again. How do I get rid of this? Oh, there you go. Good. Anyway, so you see that publish button? All you do is hit duplicate and publish. Then that exact same ad that you're running, same ad set, like that target, same ad, everything the same, will be a total carbon copy, and it will start, again. So it's a brand new ad, which means it will get a brand new algorithm. So I'm just starting it because I don't want to do that. So it will get a brand new algorithm, right? So then once that duplicated ad is approved, you can go back to this original ad, tap on this, it will go gray like that, which means it's turned off, right? So it's turned off. So it's turned off. Once it's turned off, if you're not going to intend to use it again, please delete it from your ad account, because even though when the ad is not running, when you have it in there, Facebook can still creep through your ad account, and who knows, it might find something in that ad and it will, disable that ad or reject that ad. Even though it's not active, they can still reject it, or also they might disable your ad account. So if an ad is not running, just delete it. With this engagement, I should be deleting it. I don't know, because I'm contemplating, I might turn it back on, so I haven't deleted yet. So, okay, so that's one. So that's testing the algorithm when you're really happy. So let's just say the ad, you've got a new ad going, you test it for 3 or 4 days, maybe it's gotten, 1 or 2 leads. So you're not too happy with the cost per lead, because maybe it's about $20, $25 or, $15. So that is, everybody's got a different comfort level. So maybe that's a bit high. So you're not happy with that. So you want to lower that cost. So maybe you want to test the targets, right? So then you're going to want to change the targets. So we'll just duplicate again. And then, so then this part, so this is the copy. So this is the campaign level. So you can change it. Let's just, you can just leave it say copy, but maybe maybe you can put something in there. Maybe you're testing a different target. You can type it in there or not. And then you would tap on this next one. So this will take you to the ad set level. So which means you can make changes to your ad set. So if you have you see the Philippines, this is my, what is that called? Seasoning ad. So that's why I'm playing in this one. So then you can go in here and change your targets, right? So you can change the location, or you can change the targeting here. So these are some of my targets that I'm testing. Very similar to what I've told you guys, nothing new. And yeah, so you can go back there, maybe delete some, add some. My target is very broad because, like I said, I'm doing an ad seasoning, so I'm not too gonna make it very narrow. I'm just gonna throw it out there just to get a bunch of seasonings. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so if you wanna edit the target, then make the changes here and then publish. So that means, and then once this new ad that you change the target get published and active, then you can go back and turn off that original one, because otherwise you're going to be spending money on both ads. So this is editing the target itself, right? Let's just say, the ad 3 or 4 days, just absolutely no leads, and you already tested the target. You already edit the target once and it's still no traction, nothing. Then to be honest, it's the hardest part, but we need to learn to be detached to our ad. I know when you put an ad out there, you want to feel excited, you want to feel happy about it, but what you think is good and what I think is good may not be good. Like, you may have this awesome ad you wrote, you send it to me, I read it, I like it, I'm like, oh, that's really good. We feel awesome about it, but when we throw it out there, it's not working, because it's not up to us to decide if the ad is good or not. It's up to the audience, right? So, you know what, we might think it's not a very good ad, or I don't know if it's going to work, but we throw it out. Who knows? We might be surprised. We're getting a lot of leads. So that's why, you know, don't get too attached. Like, I know we got to put energy and really feel good about our ad, but when it doesn't work, let it go, move on. We like, going back to, I think, something about decluttering, right? You need to let things go in order for new things to come into your life, right? So if you can't let go of this ad and you're still hanging on to it, changing the targets or stuff, if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. Like, in my experience, if the ad works, it should work in 3 to 4 days, even though it may 1 or 2 leads, but it's working. At least it's working, you know, maybe their targeting is not right, or maybe it's a bad day. Maybe I'll leave it for a few more days. It might pick up. Maybe I'll change the algorithm. But if after 3 to 4 days and you've already did one of the two, like the algorithm test and the target test, and still no leads, guys, I hate to break it to you, but the ad is not working. You need to, you know, change your ad, okay? So then obviously we go to this third level and we will edit our ad. So there's the text. You can go change the text. You can edit the headline, or you can change the video or the picture. So any changes to your ad is considered, you know, a change or an edit to the ad. So that's the third testing, is the ad itself. And then again, just
And you lose your social proof when you make any changes to your ad.
Yes. So when you do edit the ad itself, you lose the social proof. But I haven't pinpoint exactly what you lose. I'm not sure if you lose everything and everything resets to 0, because I know in the past when I did it, I think I might have lost the comments, but I still have some of the engagement, or I have some of my views. So to be honest, I don't know if Facebook has changed, if we lose everything or we only lose some of it. It depending on what you change to, right? So, but then when you do change an ad itself, you do risk losing that social proof. Like, I don't know all of it or how much is it, but that is one thing you do lose, is when because I mean, obviously you edit the ad, which means it's something different. So it shouldn't have the social proof that it had before, because otherwise it's misleading, right? Because, you know, you didn't get all this engagement from this, you know, exact ad copy here. So you do lose social proof when you edit the ad itself. So that's why if you want that, you know, but then again, you can always do that ad seasoning in the Philippines again and get tons of social proof again. I think I'm pretty sure I hope I cover all that stuff on ad testing. So I'm going to take a little break here, and I'm going to open the floor up to questions. And then I'm not sure. I don't think did I miss anything that I need to cover, Maria?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, good. So then we'll open the floor to questions now. And then, I mean, that's all that we can think of. But if you guys have something you're not unsure, bring it up. Maybe it would just open up, you know, something that we can point people into. Maybe other people has got that same question or thought, but they're, you know, shy to ask. So don't be shy, because I'm pretty sure whatever you ask here will have value to all of us here. We're all here to share and to grow together. So, okay, guys. So who's got questions?
Karen.
Yes.
I noticed in your ad there's something called optimization, budget optimization. Can you expand a bit on that? I
don't really use that. I think on one of my ad, I did use.
I think there was like $700.
Yeah, I don't. When I create, I wasn't looking. I just click next. But usually, sometimes when you create an ad, automatically on the first page, Facebook just choose the campaign optimization for you. So that's what I did. I go, okay, I'll test it. Who knows? So I think with the campaign optimization is that it will spend it's a lifetime budget. So for the lifetime, the date range that I chose for my lab, it's going to spend that 700. And what the campaign optimization does is that, well, you guys know that within a campaign, you can have different ad sets. So just say I have multiple ads or ad set, it's still going to just spend the money from that campaign. So only that 700 in that month that I set. So it could be spending more money on the ad set that's doing better or not. But I'm just doing a 1-1-1, so that campaign optimization is not really applicable to me. So it also means that if an ad is performing well, it will spend more money on that ad. Just the same way how Maria target multiple cities. So it will always spend money on the city that's doing better. So when you do optimization, it just say you have 4 ads in that campaign. and whichever ad is performing the most well, it will put more money towards that one. So your money is well spent, right? You don't want, it's not going to spend evenly because it's going to waste money on an ad that's not working. So that way you don't need to shift your budget yourself. Like Facebook will do that for you. So yeah. So if you want to test like, multiple ads, like, I mean, you guys want to split test, maybe just do one. Don't go like 4 or 9, please, because that's just stepping into the Facebook kind of borderline. Because as you know, like Facebook has changed. So the training recently has been revamped too, because of given what's happening with a lot of new people recently. So that's why, just take it cautious. I mean, we're going slowly, but slow and steady, rather than you're racing to get there, 2 step forward, 3 step backward, whatnot. Okay, anyone else?
I have a question.
Sure.
So 2 days ago, I did a message ad, and I got one inquiry, and then later on, I didn't get anything all day, so I went back and I duplicated it. But as I submitted it and it was active, I ended up getting like 4 more inquiries. So then that led me to thinking, okay, well, which one? Was it the old one that I duplicated it, or was it the new one I just duplicated? So I let both of them run. How do I determine which one to cancel now? Because they were both running simultaneously, because I was told to wait and then delete the original one. But now I don't know where those new inquiries came from.
So I've never done a message ad, so I don't know if Facebook tracks it for you and say, you know what, you've got 2 inquiries, because I know when we do a conversion, a lead ad, even though we have 2 running simultaneously, whichever ad gets the lead, we always know that's the ad that's getting the lead, so we know which one to turn off. But I haven't done a message ad. Anyone has any input on message ad? If there's any tracking where they'll tell you, oh, you've got 2 inquiries from this ad or anything like that? Because I mean,
Yeah.
Kim, you need to unmute yourself or you're going to speak.
Yeah, I think Shanti did a message ad the other day, and it has the tracking on it, so it will tell you how many messages you've actually got. So you should be able to see it in your business manager.
Yeah. So
okay, thank you.
So just
have to look
your
on that.
business manager and see which ad is getting those inquiries, and you can decide which one is performing.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Karen, I have a question. You say about duplicate the ad. I tried to duplicate one of my wedding ad, but then my duplicate, the copy one, is get rejected. It say MLM.
Okay, so that's just mean it's a bot, right? Because obviously your original one is approved. If you duplicate it, because every time we duplicate and put a new ad out, it always goes through the review process. But most of the time, the review process is done by a robot, the AI from Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
it could be that they found something that they missed last time and they reject. So all you need to do is send in the appeal, or just delete it and reduplicate and test it again, because they might approve the next day. So yeah, so that's all I can say, because I don't really know exactly the reason why they do that, but that's all.
Yes. Yeah, because I did one time in the past, and it's worked, and then it's set on my account, and then they restart again. But then I canceled the duplicate one already. So now I tried to duplicate the same ad, and they reject it, and they say MLM, and so I delete that already. So I was like, probably, I don't know why, but I don't want to touch my original one,
Yeah, so don't ever touch your original ad that's working, guys. Like I know some people say, then can you scale it up, increase the budget? So in the past, in the training, as I say, increase your budget at about 10 to 15%. I would say every other day. So if you're running a $10 ad, increase it to $11 today, and then wait a few days, and then increase it to 12, and then just give it time to pick up again. Because so don't go like from $10 to $20 or to $15. And the reason behind is that you got to realize that, it's an algorithm, it's a robot, it's got these data in that what it's working with. So let's say you're having a $10 ad a day, and it's been doing what it's doing, it's working, and all of a sudden you give it $20 now, And now you just messed up the robots. Like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this pattern. It's working now. I have $10 extra to spend. Where am I going to spend this money? Then Facebook gets flustered. They start showing like random people, and maybe you'll see your ad goes down, no leads for the next few days because you just messed up the algorithm, because it's got this algorithm going with that budget, and all of a sudden you just double the budget, you threw everything off, right? So you messed it up. So that's when people say, oh my God, I increased the budget and I lost the algorithm. So if you want to increase the budget, go slow, like $10. Because I mean, with $10, you increase it $1, they can adjust. Like, okay, I have an extra dollar here, so I'll throw it here and see if that works, right? And then it may take, maybe the first day you might see a bit of dip, but if you give it a couple of days, typically it will pick back up the algorithm and work. That's what I have seen in the past, but every case is unique. So proceed with caution at your own risk. And again, that's how you do it. So for me, whenever I want to increase the budget, I always duplicate it and then I run it, right? So it could be the two same ad competing, but usually I would always duplicate and target a different location if I want to up my ad spend overall. So I know that some people have good and then they want to increase for that specific location, then do it slowly, because people did say, you know what, they noticed the first day it does slow down, but after, 1 day or 2 days, it picks back up. So do that if you want to increase the ad budget. Okay,
There's a question in the chat. It says, if your ad manager account got disabled and Facebook has not responded to your appeal, do you just create a new one, or should I wait and give Facebook more time to respond?
Okay, so how long has you appealed? Because Facebook lately may take up to 2 weeks or more to actually get back to you regarding ad manager. So if you have if this is your first ad manager, then I suggest to go create your second one and start warming that up. But when you do create the second one, please put in a different form of payments. So if you're using, one credit card for the first one, when you do a second one, do a different credit card payment. So again, this is another thing I guess we should touch base on, is with payment method. So, well, we don't know if it's true or if it's real, but we just want to be on the caution side again. So people have, Dream Team experience, seasoned members have said that Facebook can track your card payments. So if you're, if this ad account that got disabled is using card 123, and when you open another account and you're using the same 123, they're going to connect and say, hey, this is the same person, right? So then most likely they might scrutinize your ad and they may go and shut that one down too, because obviously they shut you down for a reason and you're trying to do another one. So when you do, use a different form of payment, so which means a different credit card, or use PayPal. But obviously it has to be a different PayPal account. If you're already using this email PayPal, then please create another one and use that other PayPal account. Or if you don't have multiple credit cards, just call your credit card company and say, I lost my card or something, and they'll send you a new one with a new number, which you can use, because then that will be a different number than your original card. So those are ways where we can sidestep getting, any connection between the two ad accounts, even though they're all under your own personal profile. But for some reason, if you have a different payment, they will look at you as two different accounts.
Tammy's mentioned her new mentee started a new one and got disabled right away. Was that a second business manager, Tammy? Where is she?
It was the second business manager, but I don't know if they used the same credit card or not.
So which means
but it got shut down right away.
Their first one was disabled, so then they created a second one. But
yes.
How new is their page when they created this first and this second one?
Very new, like within a week.
So pretty much what has been coming to like as I mentioned in the last mastermind that we had to, and they have done that with the training, they have updated. So what they've noticed that with brand new pages, and when you do an account and an ad manager right away, you'll get shut down for no apparent reason, even no ads, because that's just Facebook's way. I think there's their new way of screening out like spammers now, right? If you just have your page up, you haven't even built up your following, your audience, and you're running ads. So for them, it's just like, Facebook's playing it safe too, with given what's going on in the world today. They don't want to take the blame for anybody out there manipulating Facebook platform to get to people. So they're just going to shut you down. And if you feel that it's wrong, then they will appeal and they will reactivate. So we've had many newbies that's got deactivated right out of the gate but when they appeal, they do get reinstated. So guys, so don't, be flustered. So that's why we're guiding our newbies like to take it cautiously and slow. So for your particular mentee, Tammy, I would just say appeal, and hopefully they will reinstate you. Okay, guys, no more. Oh, this is for you because we're putting this on to help guide you. And if you have any specific questions, but of course, after this mastermind, if you're too shy, you can always, reach out to Maria or myself or your mentor. Actually, I should take that back and said, reach out to your mentor if you need more further guidance. And like we said, we're trying to build this, how it's supposed to work. Not that we don't want to help everyone, but we need to have things in order. So the next step is always reach out to your mentor. If your mentor do not have that answer, they will go to their mentor, right? And then if their mentor don't have it, they're gonna go up, because then that's how we're gonna learn and grow as leaders and as mentor. Because if you're always skipping your mentor, going to the one above, then your mentor's not gonna have that chance to learn as well. So, and then later on when you have mentee, that's gonna happen to you, right? So they're gonna, go to their your mentor's mentor, or directly, really directly is to their coach, because other than the mentor, the coach is the only one that's got contact with the new buyers or the new distributors. So, and as we all build our business, we know that we're going to be extremely busy, and we need to learn to, allot our time and prioritize our time, even though we'd love to help everybody, but we've got this system because it works, and that's how it's going to be. So when Maria and I do turn you guys away, is not because we don't care, but because we want our community to grow, right? So in order for your business to grow, you have to grow as a person, as a leader yourself. So if you're telling the universe you're not ready to lead, you're not ready to mentor somebody, then the universe is not going to bring you mentees to lead, because you're not ready. So that's why in order for us to lead, we need to, to grow, we need to show that we are ready to lead our team or our mentees.
Hades mentioned here, Anna, anyone run Pinterest ad? And she said she's been trying to submit ads, but always says landing page needs to change. Sometimes when you put your landing page, you can put in your website domain, like mine, marialeung.ca, but then you can also have the longer version, which is / opt-in and a bunch of numbers. And I know for the landing page, sometimes I just switch the domain and it works. So it's like the longer one and the short one. So maybe try switching between that.
It also makes sure it has that HTTPS. So make sure there's that S, because that S means it's secured. So a lot of the platform likes your website to be secured, right? So when you have that S, it should help. Because sometimes when you forget that S, it still go to your landing page, but they don't like it without the S, because it's just not secured for their user. So no, unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else on here has run Pinterest ad. It doesn't seem like it. So I guess you would have to ask Mr. Google. Okay, guys, if there's no other question, we're going to call it for the day. And you know what? I did record it this time, right? Yes, I did. So you can always watch the replay or share it with your downline, your mentees. So, because we covered a lot of stuff, and I know these are ongoing questions that we do get all the time with new people. So it's just good for them to watch this, and at least they have a good starting ground. And then that way they will ask more, productive question instead of us repeating ourselves over. So I know some of you have been on this similar mastermind when we did this ad one way back in last summer. So I hope we got some new value out of here, but we just need refresher for newbies once in a while. Okie dokie, if that's it, then have a great day.
Enjoy your weekend. I hope that was really helpful to all of you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
You're very welcome, guys. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Good day.
Thanks, Karen and Maria.
I will watch the replay. you. Bye.